Did I do it?
You did it.
I did it.
Alright, folks, so on to Chapter 2 of Hoard of the Dragon Queen.
Finger guns again.
You did it again. We're just going to keep doing it until you want to make a joke about not doing it. Hoard of the Dragon Queen, Chapter 2. This is the Raiders Camp chapter. Again, this is a review / a DM overview guide thing. So why don't we start off by talking about what the overall, what's supposed to happen in this chapter.
Alright.
Do like just a high level, run through it, and then we'll go individual.
You find out there was this dude who was kidnapped by the cultists in the attack on the Greenest. And so 2 people asked you to go to find the Raiders' camp. Governor Nighthill and some lady ask you to go to Nessim Waldara. They ask you to go to the Raider camp, and Governor Nighthill wants to know if they're coming back and why they attacked the Greenest and blah blah blah. And Nessim Waldara wants you to find the dude.
It gives you a necklace or something.
I don't know.
Right? Pendant.
Candy heart.
Yeah, a candy heart.
Candy heart. Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely
No
like a pendant or tells you.
Yeah,
to
he
say
gives you
something.
like a pendant or tells you to say something.
This is the DM, folks. Anyway, so why don't you continue to go through what's supposed to happen after that?
All right. So yeah, that's the main. That's how you get your quest. And then since the Raiders, there was lots of them. They left a very obvious track for you to follow. So you do that, and then after you go for a little while, you see some smoke from a campfire, and it is stragglers. So you attack and you kill them.
Right, and they are supposed to give you information, or you could interrogate them for information.
You could interrogate them for information. And then you go a little longer, and then the rear guard of the cultists drop rocks on your head.
Which will come into play in a little bit.
And then they attack you.
And then you find the camp.
And then you find the camp. And you look around and you do stuff.
Okay. So we'll go more in depth with this. So let's jump back to the straggler piece. So it's a mixture of, now should be at least level 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mixture of kobolds and
Uman cultists.
Right. So you can capture them, interrogate them, whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you interrogate the humans and you pass a high enough check, you get the information of where the camp is located, and I think maybe that there's an ambush waiting.
Yeah.
And then if you capture the kobolds and do that, they'll just tell you whatever you want to hear, so they can get free. In our game, we unfortunately grabbed the kobolds, so they told us whatever we wanted to hear, and that didn't really help us too much.
No.
So then you get up to this part with the rear guard, where you're sneaking along and there's like a ravine, and they're supposed to drop rocks on you, but we actually skirted around the outside of the ravine.
Yes.
And sort of saw them ahead of time. And we tried to sneak towards them, and it didn't work out for us.
No. But you didn't get rocks on your head?
No, we didn't. And then, I guess the straggler thing, we wouldn't change anything with that, right?
No, that's fine.
How about the ambush piece?
The ambush is silly.
Yeah.
In the whole scheme.
I guess we'll come
this.
Well, I guess when we talk about getting into the camp, we'll talk about why that's silly. So in our game,
this there's a DC perception check if you're in the ravine to try and spot the ambush. It's DC 10 at 200 yards, 15 at 100 yards, and 20 right before you get attacked. And then the rocks do, it's a DC 11 dex saving throw, and you take 2d12 bludgeoning damage, which is pretty gnarly at level 2.
Yeah, it's still pretty serious.
Yeah. And then you get attacked by the cultists.
Right.
But because they are above you, they are considered to have 3/4 cover, which is +5 to AC.
Yeah. Thankfully, that didn't happen.
None of that happened
with us.
You.
So yeah, we defeated them, and then we moved on to the camp.
Yep.
So why don't we talk about getting the camp and getting into the camp, and then why the ambush makes no sense.
Okay. So the camp is this whole big area. See?
Yeah.
Feces. And since the since the ambush or the raid on the Greenest just happened, it's kind of easy to just walk in. Like, you're supposed to make it seem to the characters that there are guard towers and there are guards there, but they're not really stopping anyone. I think you have to make every character has to make a DC, DC 5 charisma check in order to pass as a cultist. And if you were the champion who faced the blue dragon guy, Cyanrath, on the in the first episode, you have a -4 on your roll, but still DC 5. And then as long as you pass that, then you just walk around.
Yeah. So you're supposed to essentially have this stressed to you that you're going to be, just easy to just walk right in. But the whole problem with that is, a few seconds ago, there's an ambush where they just dropped rocks on anybody that walks through the pass. So if rocks are dropped on you right as you walk in, how are you supposed to believe, like, oh, I'll just waltz right in here, when they just attacked me for no reason in a ravine, dropping rocks on my head? So, I don't know, when we played up, we decided, like, we better watch out and, like, take it easy and try to figure out the best way to sneak in here, because they just assaulted us with rocks for walking in. Like, what happened to everybody else that just waltzed in? Did they drop rocks on them too? And they're like, we're cool, later, and they just walk in? Because it's a DC 5 check to pass as a cultist. But, like, you're in the ravine, they drop rocks on you. So how am I why would I, as a player, when I was just assaulted 2 times on the way in here, just assume that I can just walk in with, like, no problems? So that was my biggest complaint with that, because when we played, we figured, well, they attacked us on the way in. They obviously know that we're not part of the cult, so we shouldn't do that. So why don't we discuss more about what happens in the camp itself?
Okay. In the camp, in the back of the camp, there are prisoners. At this point, I had some NPCs that the characters also have been taken prisoner. There is a big tent with Cyanrath, and her boss, which your players might have found out about through interrogations of prisoners, either in first episode or in this episode. Her name is I called her Fulcrum Monodeth. I don't remember her real name. I'll find it.
I think it's the other way.
It's the other way.
Yeah.
Frulum Mondoth. Yeah. So she is Cyanrath's boss and more higher up in the cult, and yeah. So you you kind of walk around and just kind of chill.
Yeah. And Leosin, there's in the back, one of the prisoners.
Oh yeah.
This guy.
That's the guy you're looking for. He's the dude. He's a monk named Leosin Arlanther.
Yeah. And you find out when you talk to him that basically he got captured on purpose.
Yeah, to find out info.
Because he's like a nut job.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole. There's a contingency where if you get captured, if your party gets captured, because again, this is a cult of hundreds and hundreds of cultists, so you can't fight your way out. It's just not possible. So if you get captured, there are a bunch of different ways where you can get out of it. Where, if you can, if you have sleight of hand, you can try and get out of it. If you can try and talk your way out of it. And if all else fails, Leo will just give you. He can free you guys. He has like a knife or something. And then there's another whole chart of information that you can gather from just talking to people around camp or doing specific things within the camp. Yeah, so Leonardo tells you, that's what we call him in our game, Leonardo. Yeah. Leonardo tells you that he got captured on purpose because he was looking to get the information that you were sent here to get. Why do you always Pull away from me, Ted! Yeah. So you try and collect the information, and this has other than those two encounters in the beginning, this chapter has no encounters.
Right.
This is just a role-playing chapter, which I feel like it's kind of crazy that they
combat heavy.
Yeah. I think there was only the interrogation in the first episode had any role-playing at all.
Yeah, it was all combat.
Yeah.
And now it's all of a sudden like you're just supposed to role play it. It's kind of again really random if you're new to the game and this is your first time through.
Like, hey man, last time we fought all these things, now we're just talking. Why are we just talking? When do we fight things? Yeah. So then there's a whole there's a system for trying to get information, and then you're supposed to rescue him.
And what was the preferred method there to rescue him out of there? How to get out of the camp?
I don't know, I think you just run, man.
Just run past hundreds of people?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Just get out, man. Get out while you still can.
So why don't we talk about what happened when we played this encounter?
I don't wanna.
Yeah, you do.
Alright. Cool. When we played this encounter, they kind of snuck. They didn't go into the camp. The camp is kind of in like a big, dry. I don't know. How would you describe it?
It's just like a valley.
Like a valley. So they climbed up onto the mountain. I don't know. The top part that's not in the bottom part.
Yeah.
And they were sneaking around, and there was a guard tower. And one of our party members was like, "I got this."
Yeah.
So he jumped. He cast jump, and he jumped up into the guard tower. And he after someone cast sleep.
Knocked out all the guards.
Knocked out all the guards. No more guards. So he goes up there, and he goes to coup de grace. Coup de grace is not a thing in this game.
Yeah. Coup de grace in previous editions was if someone's unconscious or incapacitated and you were able to hit them, it would essentially just be a one-hit kill because they can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
So if someone's stunned, knocked out, unconscious, asleep on the ground, and you hit them, it was just an instant death.
Yeah.
In this game, it would be an automatic critical hit, but you still have to kill them.
Yeah.
So remember when Sean mentioned earlier that people had a lot of freeform thinking? This is one of those situations where we told them that there is no coup de grace.
Yeah.
It's an automatic critical. And somehow that translated to him as, I'm going to just instantly kill this guy.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
So he hit the guy, did the crit, did not kill him.
No.
Guy woke up from sleep, because when they get hit, they wake up.
Yeah.
And then the guy rolled 1 on the initiative roll and blew a signal horn. So then he decided he was going to use Thunderwave. Now, if you don't know what Thunderwave does, it makes an audible clap that extends in a 300-foot range, and anybody in 300 feet can hear you. The damage is only like a 20-foot range, but the sound travels 300 feet, which would encompass the entire camp.
Yep.
So, his thought process was really weird. It was like there was a rope ladder, and one of the things it says is anything that's not secure is destroyed.
Yeah.
So in his brain, that meant that the rope ladder, which by definition would be secure because it's tied off as a rope ladder,
ropes,
would get destroyed or would flip up so that it didn't land, so that no one could climb it to the guard tower.
I don't know.
So anyway, that's what he did, and then jumped away. Now, the thunderclap did not kill any of those guys. It did not knock the rope ladder up, which made no sense.
I think it might have killed the dude who's just signed the signal horn.
Yeah, probably.
I think that guy died.
That guy probably died.
Yeah.
And then he jumped away. Now, the rest of us saw this happen because we didn't really know what he was going to do.
No.
But he said, if something goes wrong, just wait for my signal, you'll know what it is.
It's a thunderclap.
We were going to, like, scale down the side of the cliff and try to rescue the prisoners when he took out the guards. Little did we not think to ask that the guards were humans and couldn't see in the dark. So we could have just snuck into the camp anyway. Or walked in, apparently, if we had any reason to believe that would have been a thing.
Truth.
So that happened. And to his testament, he did say, like, the thunderclap came from over here. Why did all the guards rush out every other direction and up the sides of the cliff? I don't know. but they did.
Because science!
So his other thought was, if I make a loud noise over here, people are going to run to the noise, and maybe that distraction will allow us to sneak down the side of the cliff, get the prisoners, and get back up. Because the cliff is described as you can climb down the cliff and climb back up without a rope or anything. It's just, it might take you longer.
Yeah.
But in Sean's still first day DMing Infinite Wisdom, the thunderclap went off in one corner, and enemies ran in every other direction up the sides of the wall.
Because there are hundreds of people. So you're trying to go this way. There's a dude in front of you, so you go this way. And now you're trying to go this way, but there's a dude in front of you, so you go this way. It was kind of like they're all trying to get up the mountain. They're finding the first free space they have. If they got to go 30 or 40 feet this way to get up the mountain, they're going to go that way to get up the mountain.
Yep, 180 degrees the other direction up that side of the mountain.
That is horse patooey. You guys were like 20 feet away.
We were not.
You were...
The map was like this.
Pull out the map!
Fine.
I am pulling out the map. You guys were you were not nowhere near. You guys were not nowhere near.
The guard
tower's
over here.
No, you were at this guard tower.
Okay.
Because you didn't come this way.
And the prisoners are over here.
Yeah, you guys were here!
Okay, hang on. Now, let's see. This map is 300 feet, is that?
Yeah!
That's over 300 feet away.
Yeah!
They were over 300 feet away.
Trying to get up the mountain!
James, that one's for you.
He's not gonna watch
He's never gonna watch this, but that was for you, buddy.
Well, whatever. Shut up.
So long story short, we ended up retconning that entire event and just did it over.
Yeah.
Because...
Oh, we're not. Because of episode 3.
Do you want to just talk about
That's
that
when we had...
quick?
No, we can talk about episode 3 when we get
So what would you change about this episode, if you could?
The rear guard would not ambush everyone who walks down that road.
Maybe ask for a
password, something like that. Maybe give you the opportunity to get cultist robes. If you have cultist robes on, you don't get ambushed because you're wearing cultist stuff. Something.
I would say that would work, except everybody else that was coming into the camp did not have cultist robes.
True, but I'm just talking about
I agree.
The rear guard.
Yeah, I think a password would have been good because it would have been a good interrogation point with the kobolds and the if you say praise Tiamat or whatever as you're walking in, they just let you go.
Yeah.
And then okay, I mean even if they yell down to you, what's the password, and you don't do it and you get ambushed, you're like, okay, they don't know who's on the team and who's not.
Yeah.
So we might be able to just waltz in here, but we might still need to know what the password is when we go to get in the camp.
And if you're ambushed by a group of people who ask you what the password is, you knock someone out and you get the password.
Yeah. Yep. So I guess that's how I would adjust that, because it just playing through it logically just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were 5 or 6 people at the table.
Yeah.
And nobody was like, let's just walk in.
One person was. It was Nick.
Not even really.
Yeah, he was like, I think people would just walk in. We could just walk in. No one believed him.
Yeah, no one did.
No one. Well,
reason. I mean,
it's Nick.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there. All right. So that pretty much closes out chapter 2.
Yeah. This just has a lot of different opportunities for role playing. We had a lot of fun with the role playing in this.
Second go around.
Second go around. There was a lot of gambling and chatting and just me playing all the different NPCs and Daggerford, which became a thing throughout the entire game. What else happened when we played through for realsies?
No, not too much. We got information.
It was fun.
We learned about that there was the hatchery there.
Yes.
We learned about that.
There's a cave that's very well guarded. There's a dragon hatchery in there. That's episode 3. And then when we went through this the right way, the prisoners are kind of by the cliffs, so they just had someone cast jump on everyone.
You grab people and jump
Grab
up.
someone and jump up.
That got you right out of there because it was high enough that you could make that jump.
Yeah, I think it was 15 feet, 10 or 15 feet.
Yeah, and a couple of us had high enough strength scores that we could make that. It triples your jump score or something like that.
Yeah.
Or your jump number. So.
Other than that, I like this chapter.
All right, so that's chapter 2. So we'll stop that. We'll pick up with chapter 3, the hatchery.
Finger gun.